Selatan, Hulu Sungai Utara, and Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency. The district that was most affected by recent flooding was within Barabai area, the center of Hulu Sungai Tengah and its surroundings. In fact, this area has been hit by floods within 4 times in this year.
How long this bad weather will take place? And what is the cause of the flood? To help us answer the question, we have invited one of the experts, Ms. Trifani, as the spokesperson of Meteorology Station Samsudinur Banjarmasin via virtual meeting here with us. Good morning, Ms. Trifani.
Good morning, Ms. Raisa and Ms. Nina. Thank you for the invitation. To answer the question about the timeline of the flood, actually we can't exactly predict it, but we would like to fully warn and remind people to be always cautious and on alert of the high intensity of the rainfall, especially for people who live in the high-risk area of flood. As for the causes itself, the Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency believes that the high occurrence of rainfall and extreme weather in the end of the year are triggered by La Nina activities. La Nina activities is a natural phenomenon that causes strong winds blow warm water at the ocean surface to Indonesia, and it is producing high intensity of rainfall. And also, in addition, this weather pattern is impacting the rivers in 6 regions to overflow and causing the high flood. It also didn't counting the threat of extreme deforestation and also changing climate over the past month, adding into the latest list of natural disasters that have struck the region this year. So once again, we highly recommend people to be always on alert, especially for them who live in highly affected by flood in past history. So that's all the information that I can tell and share. Thank you, and I'll give it back to Miss Raisa and Miss Gina.
Thank you very much for Ms. Trifani for the expert about behind the scene of the flood. Now let's see the live condition in the highly impacted area in Barabai with our reporter Mutia.
Alright, good morning Mutia. Can you tell us the live report from the situation in Barabai?
Morning to the news anchors in the studio and to our viewers too. I am currently in the building of Juang Barabai Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency. The current flow of fluid entering the city is still quite heavy, making it difficult for the officers and volunteers to evacuate the residents, especially for the residents who are sick, including those who cannot walk that need to be immediately evacuated from their homes to the refugee camps. They have to be evacuated to the building of Juang Barabai and also to the Morakata Stadium Mandingin Barabai. Based on data from the local relation of 101 Antasari military command, it was reported that they were immersed in water with a height ranging from 15 until 65 centimeters. Meanwhile, due to the prolonged flooding, the Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency government has set a flood emergency response status that starts from today until the next 7 days. In order to avoid fatal things during the flood, the local PLN finally cut off the electricity. As a result, on Sunday night, most of the areas in Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency were pitch black due to the power outage. That's the live report that I can gather from the field. I am Mutia, and the assigned crews and cameramen reported back to the studio.
Okay, thank you so much Mutia for the live report from Barabai. Stay safe there.
Alright, this is headline news for today.
Alright, now we are moving on into the next news within the topic of offline learning activities in Lambung Mangkurat University. After approximately 2 years of carrying out online learning activities, the campus finally announced a new regulation of teaching and learning process that will be conducted offline starting in October 2021.
It will be great since students seem quite exhausted of online classes during pandemic. To find out more, we'll get live report from Karina.
Thank you, Dinda and Raisa from the studio. Here I'm giving live report from Lambung Mangkurat University. After almost 2 years carrying out online learning due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Lambung Mangkurat University finally can carry out offline learning activities with 50% participants and shortened periods of learning activity to prevent the transmissions of COVID-19. The learning activities are held by applying strict protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19. It is supported by the report of COVID-19 cases in Banjarmasin, which already steady and under control. Therefore, Lambung Mangkurat University decided to hold offline meeting for the learning activity. It is expected to be able to give students motivation in learning process and make an effective teaching process because the learning process will become more interactive and the students can explore many things in offline learning class. Now I'm with one of the Lambung Mangkurat University students and let's find out her opinion and experiences about the offline learning class. Good afternoon, Maudi.
Good afternoon.
Okay, what do you think about the offline learning class in this pandemic year? After almost 2 years, right? You learned in online class? Well, at first I was scared because of this pandemic era and was worried about lots of things. But basically, I definitely procrastinating a lot. I became easier because I could not, learn at the same time. But thankfully, the good news is the campus provided students like us to have access to get a vaccine. So that's a good thing. And then it also, it happens gradually. It started with batch 21. It happens, I think, in the middle of October. And then followed by it happens, I think, in the first week of November. But yeah, overall, I was very excited about this, offline classes, but still scared and nervous at the same time. And hopefully, this pandemic will be completely over and gone, so we as the students can, run out the offline classes fully. That's all from me. All right, thank you, Maudi. Thank you. That was the interview that we had with one of the students in Lambung Mangkurat University. The announcements of offline learning activity is welcome by the students since they have been missing the interaction within the classroom of offline. And now, with some new policies that adjust the circumstances and also the strict protocols, the offline learning activities in Lambung Mangkurat University can be implemented well. So that is all from me, Karina and Agustin, reporting from Lambung Mangkurat University, and I reported back to Dinda and Raisa in the studio.
Thank you, Karina, for the live report from Lambung Mangkurat University.
That's all the breaking news from BBB Breaking News. Thank you so much for watching.
Stay safe, stay healthy,
and see you on the next BBB Breaking News.
Hello, good morning viewers, may the good news always be with you. Today, 16 December 2020. Today, 16 December 2021, Santu TV is back with you, with me as news anchor, Riza Irwanto. with the amount of interesting and reliable information that we have prepared for you. The first news comes from the Jungle Coffee Bar. Jungle Coffee Bar, inspired by Meratus Mountain area, is the perfect destination for people to hang out. The full news will be delivered by our reporters in the location.
Living in a big city with a heavy routine is often the cause of burden for most people. This causes the weekend to be the most awaited moment of the week. Usually, some people take advantage of this time to rest or even plan a short vacation on the weekend, such as going out of town or going to a shopping center.
For those of you who want to spend the weekend in a simple but fun way, you can choose a cafe as your destination. You can choose a cafe, a Banjarmasin area as your weekend destination. Now, I am at Jungle Cafe, which is on Jalan Pramuka in the Banjarmasin area. Now, let's see how the cafe looks like. Let's go.
Jungle Cafe, a cafe that offers a beautiful natural feel like on vacation. This cafe stands in the middle of a swamp and is surrounded by plants typical of the Kalimantan forest. The cafe building is unique because it is filled with vintage-inspired displays. To add to the thick feel of nature, the Jungle Cafe also added two tame crocodiles in the swamp. This time, I ordered chocolate latte and nugget banana with cheese. This cafe has many menus, ranging from coffee, non-coffee, snack, and mains.
While waiting for my order to arrive, I want to take some pictures first. Let's go. Wow, visiting the Jungle Cafe was indeed one of the right choices because my photos turned out to be very good. The chocolate latte is delicious and tastes great. And the banana nugget with cheese is so yummy because it is crunchy and there's a lot of cheese sprinkled on it. There is a lot of customers who visit this cafe. Let's ask the sister here. Hello. Hi. What's your name? Can I ask you something about this cafe?
This place completely built very comfortable. This cafe is surrounded with many trees like we can see it now. So it fits to the jungle cafe.
In your opinion, are the food and drinks worth the price?
The food and the drinks are freshly prepared with love and passion. It's all about the freshness and the flavor. So it's worth with the price.
Okay. Can this cafe help you to be more relaxed in spending the weekend?
Of course, yes. The visitors can visit things sightseeing and doing things.
Okay, thank you, Alia. Okay, don't forget to visit the Jungle Cafe as your weekend destination. I'm Yasmin Adira Rayanti, reporter to Banjarmasin. Back to the studio.
Wow! Being inaugurated. The full news will be delivered by our reporters in the location. Wow! What a nice place, isn't it? Another news comes from the border of Banjarmasin and Batola. Sumara Ujung Bridge is starting to be forgotten due to Alalak River Bridge, which has been inaugurated. The full news will be delivered by our reporters in the location.
Among others, the most important are the vehicles, the transportation system, the transportation policy, and the state of the road. The bridge is part of that thought. A bridge is a structure built to span a physical obstacle without blocking the way underneath. With the existence of a bridge, this will make it easier for drivers to pass through these obstacles. So, it's also determining the smoothness of transportation. For example, the Cemara Ujung Bridge. As its name, this bridge located on Cemara Ujung Street, Banjarmasin, South Kalimantan. This bridge often occurs in long traffic jams, especially in the late afternoon. This is because this bridge was the only link between Banjarmasin city with Barito Pola Regency since the renovation of the Say Alalak Bridge, or better known to the local as the Basit Bridge. However, the Cemara Ujung Bridge is now increasingly quiet since the Basit Bridge was only inaugurated by Jokowi on October 21, 2021. Since the opening of the Alalak Bridge on September 23, this location has no longer had traffic jam like it used to. As you can see beside me, this is Cemara Ujung Bridge, which is getting more and more quiet. Now, I'll give to my friend Aksa Makasukur to know what is the real condition about sellers in this area.
Okay, thank you, Rizka. Now I'm with the sellers around the bridge. Today I would like to interview their condition about the bridge. Okay, now let's move. Okay, now I'm with one of the sellers around the bridge. To make our conversation better and easier, I like to use bahasa and Banjar language. Okay. Jadi untuk pertanyaan pertama nih Bu, kalau saya boleh tahu, bagaimana perasaan Ibu tentang selesainya pembangunan dan renovasi dari jembatan Sungai Alalak ini, Bu?
Bagus.
Apakah menurut Ibu jembatan ini menjadi daya tarik baru buat warga Banjarmasin dan Barito Kuala, Bu? Sangat menarik gitu ya, Bu. Jadi wisata baru, jadi tempat orang-orang berkumpul juga ya kan, Bu? Oke. Dengan adanya selesainya renovasi dan perbaikan pada jembatan Sungai Alalak, menurut Ibu, apakah ada sedikit pengaruh, Bu, dengan berkurangnya entah itu pengendara motor 2, roda 4 juga gitu. Menurut gimana, Bu?
Memang ada pengaruhnya.
Selanjutnya, pertanyaan saya, kalau kita lihat ini, Bu, di sekitar sini, kita lihat adanya pengurangan, seperti kita tahu, adanya pengurangan jumlah pedagang kaki lima, pedagang asongan, dan segala macam gitu. Kalau kita lihat dulu, kita pernah lihat ada pedagang pentol, pedagang gorengan juga, bahkan yang lain-lainnya. Kalau kita lihat sekarang kondisinya itu udah tidak ada, Bu. Apakah menurut kalian itu karena adanya selesainya renovasi atau bagaimana, Bu? Oke. Berarti karena adanya selesainya renovasi dari jembatan Sungai Alalak. Terus apakah ada faktor lain, Bu? Apakah ada penggusuran dari pemerintah segala macam, Bu?
Memang ada penggusuran.
Oh, kalau boleh tahu tujuan dari penggusurannya itu apa, Bu? Kabarnya seperti apa?
Katanya mau dibikin taman.
Taman, berarti semacam ruang terbuka hijau gitu ya, Bu? Untuk masyarakat kembali berkumpul-kumpul, untuk masyarakat bisa bersantai gitu ya, Bu?
Ya.
Ayo. Mungkin itu saja interview saya dengan salah satu pedagang di daerah jembatan Cemara Ujung. That's all for me. I give back to Riza in the studio. Thank you.
The latest news related to traditional culinary. Several kinds of Banjar's cake are included as the characteristic of mandatory of every event in Banjarmasin. The full news will be delivered by our reporters in the location. Please, Muhammad Rashidi.
Among others, the most important are the vehicles, the transportation system, the transportation policy, and the state of the road.
There are many traditional cakes in Indonesia. It's almost difficult to count on the fingers. The names and origins also vary greatly from each region. Banjarmasin, for example, the capital of South Kalimantan, is famous for a variety of distinctive and unique dishes. The city which is inhabited by the Banjar tribe also has many traditional snacks and cakes that are sure to be pretty to miss. The existence of this old snack is still easy to find in many places such as traditional markets, public streets, and even parks. Siring Park, for example. The park, which is one of the most famous tourist destinations in Banjarmasin, offers Banjaris culture, including many traditional cake traders. I'm currently in Siring Park. We can see that there are a lot of traders and visitors here. You can see there are various kinds of Banjar cakes such as putu mayang, laksa, lupis, kokole, and surati. Now I will ask one of the buyer of this traditional cake in Siring. Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you some questions? Do you often go here to buy Banjar cake?
Yes, I also buy this cake for my family.
Do you think this traditional cake sold in Siring is quite complete?
Yes, I think it's complete enough because we can find several type of traditional cake, especially Banjar cake.
What do you think about this Banjar cake in Siring?
I think selling traditional cake in Siring is very helpful to preserve our Banjar cake because along this era, some people consume fast food or junk food.
Okay. Is the price adequate to the taste that offered?
Yes, of course, the taste is worth it with the price.
Thank you very much, miss. That is my interview with one of the buyer of this restaurant.
Whether the transportation is smooth or not is very depend on the tools.
Just heard latest news for today. Again, this is Santu TV, news with no bias, delivering nothing but the truth. This has been Riza Irwanto, bringing you the latest news from around the world.
Hello, good morning viewers. I'm Halisa Dewi Purnama. Welcome to the EBS News, bringing you the eye on the news for Thursday, December 16, 2021. Today, we will report 3 breaking news that happened recently. The first news is about flood and policy that happened in Martapura. It is happening because heavy rain. For more information, we are now connected with our partner, Nurita Anggraini. Nita, how is the situation on there?
Alright, thank you. Heavy rain can build process last night resulting in Martapura and causes flooding in several locations in Martapura. Winds also covered the number of peaceful Madiani Street to Kilometer 39 in front of Matua Martapura Market. To get more information, I'm here with a member of the PT Damkar Kabupaten Bandung. Good morning. How about the situation right now? Yes, the heavy rain and drought that happened since last night caused flooding at several locations and fallen trees. Where are the locations of the flood and how high? The area of the flood includes Kumpul area, Indrasari, and part of the Ahmad Yani access road. And the water level has reached to 15 centimeters. When you get the information about the fallen tree? We got the information this morning, and now we are going to the location to handle the fallen tree. Were there any casualties as a result of the fallen tree? Unfortunately, there were no casualties and only caused traffic jams. Okay, thank you so much for your time today. Well, that's the information from the location. Back to the studio.
Alright, thank you Halisa. Hundred of vehicle heading out of the town were told to turn around when they crossed the border in Banjarmasin on Wednesday. It's happened because the road blocking had created a long traffic jam and received criticism from the road driver. To get more information, I'm here with one of road driver. Excuse me, ma'am. Might I know where are you going?
I want to go back to Banjarbaru.
Did you know about the clause inflow and outflow?
I don't know.
And what do you think about this road blocking?
In my opinion, there should be socialization first, so we are not confused with the situation where there is a sudden protestation that makes us order to turn back.
Well, thank you for your time to join us. That's all the information from the location. I'll give it back to the studio.
Thank you, Ida. information do you have?
Okay, alright, thank you, Halisa. Now I'm in the same location with the founder of Space Study. For your information, Space Study is a platform that will provide facilities for students and teachers to carry out online learning. For more information, now I'm here with the founder of Space Study. Good morning, Miss.
Good morning.
Alright. I want to know what is motivated you to create an online-based learning platform.
Okay, so the reason or the motivation why we create this online learning platform is because we want to help the teachers and students to carry out online learning process since we know that during this COVID-19 pandemic, offline learning or face-to-face learning is prohibited by the government.
Well, for the use of this platform itself, is it accessible for free for everyone, or is there any spread fee?
Sure, this is an free access online learning platform because we know that during this COVID-19 pandemic, the economic condition is not easy for everyone. A lot of people lost their jobs, so we just want to help the teacher and then the students and the parents by providing this online learning platform.
Okay. Well, one more question. For the teacher on this platform, are there any special requirements?
No, so the teachers can register easily, and then they can share the learning material or learning content to the students.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time to join us. Okay, that's information from the location. Back to studio.
Thank you, Dika. We reported directly from the place. That was information regarding a platform that can be used during online learning and was created to facilitate the teaching process during the pandemic for free. That's the news of the truth and accuracy of the team EBS News. We wish everyone well and wish you a nice day. This is EBS News.
Penampilan dari TEN TV Group.
Hodei kalau sudah siap berpanggil loh.
Good morning, I am Muhammad Khalid. I'm Nisa. Welcome back to 10 TV News.
Sail Alar Bridge opened by the President of Indonesia Joko Widodo. The view of Sail Alar Bridge attracted the attention of residents to capture the moment.
A number of universities in Indonesia have conducted limited face-to-face lectures in this COVID-19 situation.
Heavy rainfall has caused several roads in Banjarmasin to be flooded.
So, here is the first news. So, here is the first news. One by one, electricity started crossing the road to the state outreach after it was opened by the National Kalimantan Implementing Road Agency.
This opening was carried out at the request of the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo. All right, to know the real situation, let's move to Ernest that's reporting from the location. Ernest.
Thank you so much, Nisa and also Raji from the studio. To know more about the people responses about the opening of the Sea Alalak Bridge, here I am already with Risa and also Yaya, who who passed the bridge and stopped for a moment to enjoy this new bridge. Alright, excuse me, what do you think about the opening of this new bridge, miss?
Okay, I'm so happy because we have been waiting for the bridge for a long time, and also the bridge is so beautiful, so it can be good spot for take a picture.
Okay, thank you so much. How about you? Are you excited about the new bridge?
Am I not excited right now?
Okay.
Happy banget. I'm really happy because of this bridge. I can take a picture of myself.
Okay, thank you so much, Risa, and also Yaya. Here I am already with the Mr. Farid as the photographer in the new bridge. Okay, Mr. Farid, what do you think about the opening of the new bridge in here? It seems like you got a new job here. Is it right, sir?
Yes, from the deepest part in my heart, I'm really happy because I can get a new job here as a photographer. And also, this bridge is really useful for people here.
Okay, got it. Good luck for your new job, sir. Thank you so much. The opening of this new bridge in South Kalimantan has received enthusiasm from the road users. Some residents don't want to miss this moment by capturing themselves through their mobile phones. They look happy after 2 years of facing traffic jam due to the construction of the Al Bridge. Moreover, there are also some people who utilize this bridge to get money by being a photographer or selling food around this bridge. Ernest Sofianari from Al Bridge reported. Nisa and also Rajiv, back to you.
Alright, thank you Ernest. Let's move to the other news.
The government through the Ministry of Education and Culture has given a signal to start a face-to-face learning in the autumn semester of 2021-2022 academic year in this area. The COVID-19 cases have started to decline, or at least in areas that apply PPKM level 2 and 3.
This news also welcomed by the students who study at one of the best universities in Indonesia. A number of universities in Indonesia have conducted limited face-to-face. This is no exception for the Lama Mangkurat University.
A lecturer can be carried out in class with the condition that the maximum student capacity is 50% of the total number of students in one class. In addition, the use of mask during the learning process is also required to maintain the health protocol set by the government. One of the students welcomed the start of the face-to-face lecture. He also said that the online lecture that were held during this pandemic were ineffective. She was also happy to be able to take face-to-face lectures again. However, even though many students welcome this offline lecture, the implementation of face-to-face lectures has to be addressed by the campuses. Because the health protocol system carried out is still less strict, as stated by one of the lecturers in the English Education Study Program at ULM. She said that the protocol provided by the campus are still lacking, so that in the future must be evaluated again. Although students are excited about the return of online lecturer, it is hoped that the students can still comply with the health protocol required by the government. In addition, universities are also expected to facilitate the campus to provide body temperature check, as well as other health protocols to strengthen the offline learning system, so that the rate of COVID-19 cases can be avoided.
In my opinion, with the current situation, in which cases of COVID-19 have begun to decline, this is enough to start supporting face-to-face lectures on campus. And in addition, online lectures are also less effective for me so far because I feel that my motivation to study is decreasing. Then there were also more assignments, so that is quite burden for me. I will very welcome the return of these face-to-face lectures.
Actually, as a lecturer here, I'm so excited to be able to teach them and interact with the students again. But unfortunately, in terms of the health protocols provided by the faculty or university, I think it is not very strict. Why? Because there is no checking of body temperature after entering the campus area. Then although the barcode for the checking the vaccination has been provided in front of the faculty entrance, there are still many students who just pass it and do not check through the application. So that COVID-19 in the campus environment.
Alright, for the last news, 20 hours of heavy rain flooded in the depths at Palm Street, Banjarmasin. Because of that, the roads are flooded. Alright, to know the real situation, let's we move to Isi that is reporting from the location.
Heavy rain for 20 hours floods the city of Sungai Miyai, Banjarmasin. Because of that, the roads are flooded. A number of motorists through the floods experienced vehicle breakdown due to the high water, and there were also several residents of Sungai Miyai city get impact of the floods. Okay, and now I'm already with two respondents that directly impact by the floods. Okay, excuse me, sir. What is your name?
Nama Wulun Marco.
Namanya bahasa Inggris,
Oh,
Bang.
iya, sorry, sorry. My name is Marco.
My name is Adul. Okay, sir, did you cross the Plambean Road earlier?
Yes, sir. Right there. There is a traffic jam because of heavy rain, and it caused flood.
Okay, how deep is the flood on the Flamboyant Street?
I'm not sure about the dip. Maybe it's a half meter. Maybe. Okay.
I see. That's why your motorbike is breakdown.
Yeah, that's right. I had this situation because I don't have money to repair my motorcycle.
Okay, thank you for both of you, sir. Please take care on your destination.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so more than 30 houses of Sungai Miyasiri flooded due to heavy rainfall from Monday night to the Tuesday. The water level varies from around a half meters. The residents of Sungai Miyasiri hopes the best for the solution from the government, because the flooding in Sungai Miyai often occur every rainy season. Iside Berkatnu from Sungai Miyai Street reported.
Dicek dulu deh. Tunjukkan kameranya gimana mas? Belum
Ada kamera di sini kan?
Ini setiap di studio berarti ya mas? Di anak kameranya. Mas, tolong nih mas, anakannya mas.
Apa?
Kalau kamu nggak dipindah kopi dia. Berarti ini di kopi setiap ini dulu lah mas. Coba bang Mut coba dulu mas. Apa nih? Oh, Mak, ini ke sini kah?
Apa?
Ke sini, kayak ini kah? Udah
Hello everyone, I'm doing great, thank you. Okay, so the current situation is still not conducive. The flood in Palangkaraya is getting wider. This morning, the flood has increased by about 1.6 meters from yesterday and has soaked hundreds of houses. The residents who had stayed at home began to evacuate. The refugee camp for flood victims is getting fuller day by day, and now 21 urban villages have been flooded. Not only in Palangkaraya, but also another district in Kalimantan Tengah. Hello everyone, I'm doing great.
Belum. Coba full screen bang, full screen. Coba full screen bang, kelihatan lah. Aku di sini.
Oke, siap? Sudah. Oke, beri tepuk tangan yang meriah bagi Bukan Sembarang TV.
Hello, good morning viewers. Welcome back to Bukan Sembarang News, giving you the latest news around the world. And for today, December 15, 2021, we bring you several information that happening during this week. Here are our 3 headlines for today. First, the hybrid learning implementation in school. Second, the flood disaster in Palangkaraya. And third, Indonesian qualified for Asian Cup. Now with me, Mahmud, here is the news in detail. The first news comes from the school in Banjarmasin. After having the online learning for 1 year, the government finally gave the permission for school to have an offline learning. This decision based on the situation of COVID-19 that is getting better and right now decreasing in level 2. The government decided to give the permission with some condition. The school needs to limit the students in one classroom with limited time too. And of course, all of the students, teachers and the staff needed to be vaccinated before. This decision greeted happily by students and teachers. Yasminia reports to you from the location.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mahmud. Good morning, everyone. I'm here with one of the teacher Mandua Banjarmasin, Miss Ardelianda.
Good morning, Miss Yanda.
Good morning.
Alright. Do you think that the hybrid school ELESP has been implemented in Mandua Banjarmasin?
Yes, since 3 months ago, which became the first school in Banjarmasin that implemented this learning method.
Alright, thank you. What do you think about the hybrid learning?
Hybrid learning is a learning systems that combine face-to-face learning and online learning. In my opinion, the hybrid learning method is actually good because we as teacher can meet and interact with students after 2 years of pandemic, but we can still implement health protocols considering that the capacity of students each class is divided into two, online and offline.
During the hybrid learning process, are there any obstacles?
Of course, because it's a new learning method, there are some obstacles faced by teacher. Teacher feel that these are new challenge. Also, in facing the learning process at school, teacher also have to convince and ensure the parents that the school has proper situation for make the face-to-face learning. There are a quite number of students who have not been able to participate in hybrid learning effectively, so it's feared that many are left behind. In essence, the hybrid learning method is really challenging by teacher, but actually also really good for the innovation of learning.
Alright, thank you, Miss Yanda.
Yes, you're welcome.
That's all for me. Yasminia report on the spot. Back to studio.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Yasminia. And we've had also interview with one of the students about her opinion of hybrid learning. Rachel Setiawan reports to you from the location.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mahmud. Alright, now I'm at the school, and here with me one of students of Bangun Mandiri Vocational High School, Miss Amanda. Thank you. Have you got vaccinated before?
Yes, I've got it.
Okay, alright. So right now, how do you feel after a long time pandemic? And today you are be able again to back to school face to face with your friends.
Alhamdulillah, after almost 2 years of online school, finally we can meet again with our friends and of course with our teachers and feel the euphoria again of studying in class like offline, of course. And even though it's not 100% school offline, but this is very fun for us. That's it.
Okay. So for you, which one do you prefer? Offline class or online class, and why?
I prefer to study offline, especially like us as a vocational school or usually called by SMK. We practice more than learning theories. So yeah, I prefer to choose offline because it's just not easy when we just learning by myself, learning theory and then practice by myself. But when I choose school of offline, I can study with teachers and of course discussion with my friends. So yeah, I choose offline school.
Okay, so then what's your opinion regarding the implementation of hybrid learning in your school right now, right, in Indonesia also, which is a mixture of face-to-face class and also online class? What do you think about that?
Right. Of course, this is a new thing for us, like to adapt to new normal era with this hybrid learning system, and students are certainly more helped by the system. So we find the material that is not understand when we are studying online, and we can practice it offline with the teachers, and that must be done in offline school. It will be helped by the existence of this hybrid learning system, and of course we have to follow the health protocol like wearing masks, washing our hands, or using hand sanitizer.
So what kind of obstacle that you found when hybrid learning system implemented?
Okay, the difficulties maybe we have some problems like when we in our turn online or offline. Sometimes when my friends have learned the material of A or B, but when we are offline, we learn the material of C or D. So it's different and in lagging in the material of A or B or C and that's so on. And this is still not evenly distributed between online and offline. So besides that, we hope that we can study offline for.
Okay, because not equal.
Yes,
right?
right.
Okay. So last question, Miss Amanda, what your hopes for the future regarding of the implementation of the current learning system hybrid in your school right now?
Okay, hopefully this pandemic will end soon and we can all carry on as usual. In particular, we as a student can study fully offline. Moreover, we are high school, so yeah, we need to get the experience of the vocational school or we call it as SMK. So we more practice than just by learning theories. So yeah, I hope that this pandemic will end.
Okay, all right. Sure. And so, thank you, Miss Amanda, for your time. And all right, that was a brief interview with one of students in Bangun Mandiri Vocational High School about the existence of hybrid learning systems during the current pandemic. And I'm Rahel Setiawan from here to report back to the studio. Thank you.
So much, Miss Rachel. All right, now we move on to the second news. Coming up next about the flood situation in Palangkaraya after the break.
Student Business Center is the best canteen ever.
Back with me again on the studio. We're moving on to the second news about the flood in Palangkaraya. Several information reports on how deep this flood, almost 2 meters, and it caused many houses soaked. Many people has been evacuated, anticipating the flood that will be increasing in the next several days. Now, we have already connected with our source in Palangkaraya, Ms. Sadila Mercuriza, who is going to tell us more about the situation there. Move to the studio too.
Hello everyone, I'm doing great, thank you.
Please describe this.
Okay, so the current situation is still not conducive. The flood in Palangkaraya is getting worse. This morning, the flood has increased by about 1.6 meters from yesterday and has soaked hundreds of houses. The residents who have stayed at home began to evacuate. The refugee camp for flood victims is getting fuller day by day, and now 21 urban villages have been flooded.
Can you explain more detail about the damage?
Okay, so the damage caused by the floods is very large. The damage is estimated at more than 600 billion because apart from damaging road and bridge infrastructure, the flood also damaged government facilities and people also. Floods that occur in Kalimantan were not only entirely caused by high rainfall, but the disaster was caused by the poor environmental condition in Kalimantan.
What are the things that we can do to help?
I think you can help the flood victim with open donation. Not only in form of money, but for money donation, you can also donate like some clothes, medicine, and clothes. I think that's enough for flood victims.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Salsadila.
Okay, thank you.
Now we move on to the third news coming up next. Indonesia qualified for Asian Cup after the break.
Hola Bib, hola Su.
Back with me again on the studio. Move on to our third news. Indonesia finally qualified to Asian Cup 2022 for the third time ever in the history. The 2-0 wins against Singapore in the place-off give them a ticket or qualification. The Asian Cup planned to be held in 2022 as the United Arab Emirates will be the host. Indonesia along with Vietnam will be the representation of Southeast Asia to get a ticket for the World Cup of 2024. Rachel Setiawan reports to you from the location.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mahmud. Alright, now I'm at Gelora Bung Karno Stadium in Jakarta. And here with me, the captain of Indonesia national team, Mr. Ronaldo Nazario. To Mr. Ronaldo Nazario, thank you so much. And how are you today?
Yeah, I'm very well. Good.
Okay, thank you. So, how do you feel when you can come back again for the national squad team for ASEAN Cup qualification 2022 later?
Yeah, I'm very happy because this is the opportunity for us to give the best for our national team and give to our supporters that we can get the trophy. And I'm very excited too because in this year we play at our country and we can support it by our family directly.
Alright, so for the preparation itself, what it's like so far?
Yeah, we do prepare very hard. We practice every day, and the most important thing we must keep focus and keep our body fit. And the most important thing also, we need to concentration in the match later.
Okay, according to your opinion, Mr. Nazario, the opponent in ASEAN Cup later, how it's like?
Yeah, that must be we match.
Okay, yes, correctly. So, the last question, Mr. Nazario, is there any message for the supporter in Indonesia before you and your team play?
For all of the Indonesian team. And that's it from Bukan Sembarang News this morning. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host Mahmud. See you on the next and goodbye.
penampilan dari Bukan Sembarang TV. Oke, kelompok terakhir sebelum kita tutup sesi terakhir pada siang, harap bersiap-siap dulu.
All right, thank you. So the traffic here is seemingly packed. As you can see from the road, we already have a citizen here to chat with us about the traffic. Okay, so good evening, miss.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, first of all, may I know your name first?
You can call me Kiki.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Kiki, for spending your time here. So what do you think about the traffic in this road?
It's really packed as at busy hour as usual. As you can see here, so many cars.
Okay. So the traffic here is usually packed at the certain time. Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
So may I know, does the asphalt paving here interrupt your activities?
Not really, but there were some moments that really annoyed me because the trucks came into this street in not in the scheduled hour.
All right, thank you.
The traffic jam in the city of Banjarmasin is getting worse. It is suspected to be the cause of asphalt paving on Ahmad Yani Kilometer 5 and trucks that pass through the main road of the city.
In Ayani Street, Kilometer 5, the traffic is seemingly packed in Monday, 7th December 2021 evening. Now, we are connected to our crew, Hakim Ridhani. How is the traffic there?
All right, thank you. So the traffic here is seemingly packed. As you can see from the road, we already have a citizen here to chat with us about the traffic. Okay, so good evening, miss.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, first of all, may I know your name first?
You can call me Kiki.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Kiki, for spending your time here. So what do you think about the traffic in this road?
It's really packed as at busy hour as usual. As you can see here, so many cars.
Okay. So the traffic here is usually packed at the certain time. Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
So may I know, does the asphalt paving here interrupt your activities?
Not really, but there were some moments that really annoyed me because the trucks came into this street in not in the scheduled hour. So it causes the air to be more polluted and dangerous to pass by.
Oh, I see. So at certain hours, the trucks often passes by in here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much for your time and your inside information. As you can see, some trucks pass the street just about the moment I have interviewed the citizen. This might be a rather dangerous situation for the passerby. I think that's all I have to inform for today's news. Going back to the Studio 1 with Mr. Ihsan Wahyudi and Sandra Milenia. Thank you so much.
As our reporter said, this might be a rather dangerous situation for passerby, especially in the hours where trucks are not supposed to pass through. Meanwhile, the asphalt paving on Ahmad Yani Kilometer 5 doesn't really bother people that much, since it mainly happens at night where little to no people are around.
I agree, Ihsan. Now, let's see the other traffic condition in Sultan Adam Street.
Thank you, Isan and Yulisia. The situation here this evening is also very packed and busy. Many people are on their way to home from work or other activities during the day. I have local here with me. Good evening, how are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Do you usually pass this street?
Yes, I use this street every day because I live in Sultan Adam Street.
Okay. How do you feel passing the street every day around busy hours?
It's stressful, really. I just got back from my activities and had to jump in the traffic. It's very stressful.
Okay, I understand. Standing here watching all the people and vehicle are stressed. Thank you for your response. Alright, I think that already sums up our report for today. Let's go back to the studio with
With
the
the
presenter
presenter
Isan
Isan
Wahyudi
Wahyudi
and
and
also
also
Yulistia.
Yulistia.
Thank you, Harris, for your report. It looks stressful indeed watching it from the studio. However, it is a daily life for a city folk, isn't that right?
Absolutely true, Isan, but I believe the government and people are constantly finding ways to minimize the traffic jam. The last news of today would be the Cambridge English Test, a joint event from Cambridge and Britain.
On Friday, 3rd December, an international test from Cambridge Assessment for Lambung Mangkurat University student batch 2020 was held by Britain Cambridge.
You are here to take Cambridge A2
Around 500 students took this
This
exam,
exam,
which
which
was
was
held
held
from
from
26
26
November
November
until
until
3rd
3rd
December.
December.
On 3rd December, the exam starts from 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock for Season 1 and 2 o'clock from 5 o'clock for Season 2. The exam went well and still followed the health protocol regularly.
The Cambridge Assessment Test is said to be an annual event for students of Lambung Mangkurat University to test their English competence after they have studied for 1 year in the university.
Also, the test that took place from 26 November to 3rd December is only the first batch. It only covers 500 students. The next batch will take place around February to March 2022. It is reported that the student that participate will around 2,000 students.
Right. So we have come to our end of time today. Shall we make our conclusion?
Yes, right.
So for today's report, we have gathered some news from Ahmad Yani Kilometer 5 and the street of Sultan Adam Street, especially in the crossroad. They have traffic jams, but they have a different cause. The first one is caused by the trucks that pass through the street, and then the first one is caused by the rush hour that happened in the Sultan Adam Street.
Yes, and the last news was about the international exam by Britain Academy and Cambridge Assessment that took place in time in Lambung Mangkurat University from 26 November to 3rd December 2021.
Right. Those sums up our news today. I am Muhammad Iksan Wahyudi.
And Yulistia Yuna, along with the crews, we're saying thank you for watching and
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and see you next time.
Good afternoon, you are watching Broken News with Mardatila Nadia and
Taufik Hidayat. Well, today we will bring news from our beloved city, Banjarmasin.
all students at the level of early childhood education to junior high school in Banjarmasin City. Why? Why? Kenapa? Kenapa? Boleh ya? Ulang. Good afternoon, you are watching Broken News with Mardatila Nadia and
Taufik Hidayat. Well, today we will bring news from our beloved city, Banjarmasin.
all students at the level of early childhood education to junior high school in Banjarmasin City have been given the green light to fill the pattern of face-to-face learning limited in school. including as many as 80% of teachers in school that hold offline learning must have been vaccinated.
Mr. Bahri, head of State Junior High School 9 Banjarmasin, he explained that currently they have prepared 20 classrooms for the offline learning with a maximum capacity of 50% of a room.
As for the learning time, the head of education office of Banjarmasin City, Totok Sudaryanto, he said that learning activities in school only last for 3 hours every day.
Now, we move on to the next news. The sudden loss of the COVID-19 virus. This strange phenomenon was revealed by the Minister of Health and the previous president, Siti Fadila Supari. She saw the strangers of the current condition where COVID-19 suddenly disappeared in several countries, including Indonesia. This is even more strange because the researchers in Indonesia do not directly conduct research on the loss of the COVID-19 virus.
This is very different from Japan. Currently, the state orders some experts to examine why the COVID-19 virus can disappear suddenly. In the eyes of Siti Fadila Supari, the COVID is rising. Currently, Indonesia is seen as seizing the COVID-19 subsidence in the country due to herd immunization among the community and the number of spread of the COVID-19 virus successfully spread with emergency public activity restriction.
In addition, there are some speculations about whether the COVID-19 virus mutates a lot. Personally, Siti Fadila shows the government of the Jokowi regime had no order to conduct in because of the effect of
COVID
vaccine given.
tiba-tiba menghilang dan mereka sibuk sekali untuk meneliti apakah karena apakah karena mutasi dan kemudian hilang ataukah dengan teori lain. Mereka sekarang sedang sibuk meneliti itu. Nah, kita tidak kan, kita belum meneliti apa-apa. Yang saya dengar baru akan meneliti apakah penghentian kasus COVID pada bulan Agustus kemarin ini, di Agustus September barangkali, itu apakah karena vaksin?
The third news, as well as the closing of this event on the day, come back from our city, Banjarmasin, which became the warmest and exclusive news.
Police officers from the Banjarmasin police arrested 2 gangs of sadistic robbers who used to operate in the area. The 2 robbers are SI and EN.
Both were arrested after being hunted for 3 days by police officers. A local police officer said that one of the robbers was shot while trying to escape, while being arrested at his hiding place. The following is a CCTV recording belonging to the resident, which is one of the strongest evidence of the detention that has been carried out by the robbers.
The suspects in their action are known to be sadistic and they have tried to lure their victims to die behind back. Apart from stealing motorbikes, they also stole motorbikes in the middle of the road and then sold them to a trafficker in the Belitung area of West Banjarmasin.
Okay, I will report from the scene. From the information that I have received, the police have arrested 2 perpetrators of motorcycle robbery in the city of Banjarmasin with the initial SI and EN. The hunt for the perpetrator lasted for 3 days, and the 2 perpetrators were caught at 2 p.m. local time, and the perpetrator also been with one of the families of the victim. The victim is a 20 years old student, and who am I currently talking with?
I am Fatima Zahra, the sister of the victim.
Alright, Miss Fatima, can you give us some little information about the current condition of the victim?
Now my sister is fine, but she is still traumatized about the incident.
Well, it means that the victim didn't suffer any physical injuries, right?
No, she is alright. No physical injuries at all.
May I know where is the victim's current position?
My sister is staying in my parents' house.
Alright, Miss Fatima, thank you for the time and the opportunity. Here are some statements from the victims, and I will return them to my colleagues, Taufik and Nadia.
Okay, thanks to my colleague Maya for the report. From the reports that we have received to account for this action, the suspect was snared of 12 years in prison.
And that's all for today's news. I'm Mardatira Nadia and my partner,
Taufik Hidayat, and all of the crew, thank you and
see you later.
Oke, terima kasih buat Broadcast News. Oke, selanjutnya kelompok apa nih? Kelompok Rijal atau kelompoknya Harnep nih? Oke, Rijal ya. Apa namanya kelompok Rijal? Apa? ULM News ya.
Alright, thanks. Okay. Cek, cek, cek. Cek 1 2. Cek 1 2 1. Di mana? Saya. Tuh 2 1 1 2 2. Mirip lo Nan. Nan, mirip lo lonjong kuku. Ini mana? Ini pas ya? Gimana sih? Kedengaran kok sini? Tes 1 kok nggak kedengaran. So, cukup aku menerima Allah. Sudah solo, ya Allah. Hidup. Right, check, mic 2 on, alright, let's go. Tapi lah. Alright. Good morning, I'm Muhammad Rija, your news anchor from ELESP News. Mana pengantin minyannya mana nih? Pengantin perempuannya mana? Kabur kah? Aisyah. Gimana? What about me? Good morning, I'm Muhammad Rija, news anchor for ELESP News from ELESP News. For the next couple minutes, we'll bring you the highlight news for today.
Hello Rizal, good morning. A lot of people out here at Samsudin Airport today.
Good morning, I'm Muhammad Rija, your news anchor from ELESP News. For the next couple minutes, we'll bring you the highlight news for today. For the first news, the airport is getting crowded amid the high case of coronavirus in Indonesia, especially in South Kalimantan. Joining us now from Samsudin Airport is Hairin, our reporter on the spot. Hairin?
Hello Rizal, good morning.
a lot of people out here at Samsudin Airport today. Here it is expected at least about 2,000 passengers from many places to come here. As we can see, quite a lot of people here traveling after a couple of months restriction from our government. And in this new normal era, there are some changes such as people are not allowed to sitting or standing too close, and people have to wear their masks or face shield, and some of them even wear gloves to avoid the transmission of coronavirus. I have talked to some passengers here. They feel a little bit worried, but also they feel happy. They can travel after such a long time restriction. And of course, for our viewers, if you are willing to travel in further time, please follow protocols. Irene's reporting live from Samsudinan Airport. Back to studio.
Thank you, Irene. For the next news, the coronavirus seems to still harm people to visit the Asmara Beach. This, of course, has an impact on the economy for the people who live on Asmara Beach, especially for the lodging business. Our reporter Hafiz will report the situation out there. Hafiz?
This is Hafiz from ULM News, reporting live from Asmara Beach. After the COVID-19 outbreak in Indonesia, many aspects of the economy that impacted from this outbreak, including tourism. One of them is Asmara Beach, that is famous among people in South Borneo. On weekends, usually Asmara Beach has around hundreds of visitors, but now it only has 5 till 10 visitors. I'm joining by Mr. Haris Nopal as the owner of this villa resort from Asmara Beach. Oke, Mr. Haris, maaf mengganggu waktunya. Jadi saya ingin menanyakan, menurut Anda bagaimana dampak yang terjadi pada situasi pandemi ini terhadap tempat wisata? Mungkin dampak yang paling terdampak adalah mungkin wisatawan. Ini yang memang masih ada di Indonesia ini dan terjadi dari pemerintah yang kurang kondisi pariwisata yang ada dan mungkin juga ini itu agak mungkin sedikit lah untuk pantai. Terus kalau harapan dari Anda bagaimana wisatawan dapat kembali berkunjung ke tempat pantai ini, karena yang seperti kita tahu ada Asmara yang dulunya ramai pengunjung, banyak wisatawan yang berdatangan. Jadi menurut Anda apa sih harapan Anda? Saya sendiri menggunakan yang ada pada sekarang dan saya dan untuk para masyarakat sendiri mungkin selama tidak ada pengunjung ini bisa diperbaiki lah fasilitasnya. Thank you, Mr. Haris Nopal. Now is my interview with one of the owners of this resort from Asmara Beach. And then back to studio. Thank you.
This is Hafiz from recording that was captured by a citizen camera. This 30-second video contains the momentum of the collapse of a luxury house worth 3 million, which had gone viral on social media a few days ago. Reporting from banjarmasin.co.id and apakabar.com, this is an amateur video recording that was captured by a citizen camera. This 30-second video contains the momentum of the collapse of a luxury house worth 3 million, which had gone viral on social media a few days ago. Reporting from banjarmasin.co.id and apakabar.com, it was observed that this 20 times 15 meter two-story house is located on Rama Street, Gatot Subroto, Kelurahan Kebun Bunga, Kecamatan Banjarmasin Timur, Banjarmasin City, South Kalimantan. According to the confession of a witness, who is a member of the family of the owner of the house, Dharma Wardana. A week earlier, he heard a strong sound from the foundation of this luxurious house and immediately reported the incident to the owner of the house in DKI Jakarta. Reportedly, every 1 to 2 months, the owner goes to Banjarmasin to oversee this yellow luxury house. Hearing again the sound of cracks, Dharma and his party immediately went out and watched the moment when the house collapsed. Luckily, there were no casualties, but the television and other valuables were crushed by the building. The building, which has been standing for 15 years, collapsed allegedly because the foundation of the house was not strong. The family didn't really want to report this incident because they didn't want to make the local residents restless. However, in the end, this video went viral after Dharma's grandson allegedly uploaded a video of this incident for the first time to social media.
That's all for ULM News for today. I'm Muhammad Rizal. Thank you and have a nice day.
Oke, terima kasih buat ULM-nya.
Good afternoon, people. Another day in the studio with me is Warner in the Tower Productive Talk Show. Yeah. Today we will welcoming an author who used to be the new challenger in world of literature, known as the most cold-blooded author due to her passion killing her character. I present you all with Dila Cesar.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss
Thank you
Rifa.
for welcoming Miss.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I can be in this studio and talk with you, and yeah, we will have a really nice chat after this. But well, I kind of surprised of how bright this studio is. First of all, though.
Yeah, our old studio is still down because of good weather recently.
I see the flood.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say it's because of the rain. I know.
Yeah, okay. So, alright, so today I want to discuss your new book, the one which title Let the Show Goes On. Your reader are literally on their seat they are reading this.
Well, I'm not surprised because, well, it is meant to be a surprise. It meant to make you curious about what happened next.
Oh, yeah, no wonder you are the author, so you don't surprised about that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So this is the 10th book that you write in your detective series.
Yep.
From our title before, which you think that most difficult to write, Miss Dila?
Between all the 10 books that I've write, I think the most hard one, every book have its own difficulties, but specifically the hardest one is gonna be the number 5.
Oh.
Because the book number 5, that story about the dealer, is interesting first of all, but I really need to do a lot of research because it's about a car dealer, right? In our country, we do not really familiar with poker and such because it's illegal in here. But well, I think we need to, I need to improvise. I need to know about cards, how the dealers work, what kind of cards play are they, and the mythology between the cards itself. There is a lot of things that I need to research.
Oh, okay. So the difficulty is your research about the detail in word development in your writing.
Yeah,
right?
because it is important to make it feel real.
Yeah, that's great. So for the author, you have to really detail about your story. Okay.
Yeah.
So people also notice that you put a lot of diversity aspect to the character in your book. Can you explain why and how you do that?
Well, diversity is important. I mean, if there is only one type of things that you know or you read, it will be very boring. Like if you only just read romance story, it will be dull after a while. So it also happen in books. Like if you only have good people, you will like, why there is no problem with their life, with their happy life? Why? And if there is like very chaotic, well, isn't it sad? Why they deserve to be happy? So that's why that we need diversity. So it's also applied to people. So if I have a good character, we will have a bad character. They will have their own conflicts, their own happy moment, their own sad moment. It's just for balance.
Yeah.
So diversity is for your unique in your story. Yeah. Okay. So the next is our survey also state that Detective Hendra is one most lovable or favorite character in your series. Miss Dila, what do you think about it?
Interesting and intriguing, of course.
Oh. And why?
Well, I kind of don't expect Hendra to be that big because, well, Hendra is not the he's not the police, but he's instead the people behind the police. So I don't expect that.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't expect it, but most reader love him, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know the Hydra final fate in this series. Okay. So
Well, hold on. I do not say that I'm gonna kill a character because of a survey though. And like their fate are in my hand, but not because of the survey that of people love this character, so I will kill them. It's not like that.
Oh my god. Okay. That still be our reader. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
Okay. So which one is the real main character in your series? Detective Yoshi or Hendra? People also can debate which one because you know since Yoshi is usually in the front of side in your story as police detective, but Hendra always tailing him in the background as the shadow detective, you know, like helping in the dark.
I see. Well, it because at first I do not expect that people have such a big like response about Hendra because this is Detective Yoshi. But if you ask me who is the main character, both of them are main characters.
Oh, really? Both?
Yeah.
That's kind of surprising. I think you just choose one of them.
Well, choice is there, and the title state that it's called Detective Yoshi. So in that story, it's Yoshi's story, but in essence, both of them are main characters because they have their own story, they have their own side. So if in Yoshi that he's in the police side, in the law side, when Hendra is in that side when law doesn't apply to him and he is doing his way, he is doing with different kind of ways, the crazy ways, actually the main character of their own story. So they are main characters, but this is Yoshi's story, so you need to know that who is the main character because it is already stated.
Oh, so both of them is like two sides in one coin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because they are, but so okay. But Miss Dila, can you tell the reason why both of them main characters? Yes. Beside their job, their purposes.
Well, they are main character not only because of their job and their sides, but certain condition and another time. So in this story, we will still focus on Yoshi.
Oh, okay, Yoshi.
But maybe next time we will see about Hendra.
Oh.
Just a little spoiler there.
Okay. Don't worry, because we already, show the sign warning about spoiler in this talk show. So don't worry, readers. Okay.
Okay.
So a lot of people choose Hendra over Yoshi, as their favorite character. Miss Dila, as a writer, how you create this broken yet loving character?
Well, I already stated that I put a balance in my story, and I also put, I reflect my story based on real life. So I try to make a story is as real as it is possible because it's a crime story, right? So the crime story have to feel real. Like this kind of stuff have to be somewhat happen in the real life. So in creating characters, I reflect more in what happened around me, like For example, I see, oh, this man is really interesting. I think he's gonna make a really good villain. That sort of thing is always popped up, like whenever I met someone new or when I'm observing around me. But if you ask me about Hendra, let me give you a little story, but not too much, because the story is back when I was in junior high school. I had a teacher there who I'm really interested to him because he is his own person, and because I adore him so much that I make the version of him in my story. So basically he's inspired from a teacher back in school.
Oh, so your teacher is lucky, yeah, inspire you to making the character of Hendra.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So you are so observant to make them as a character in your book. Okay.
Yep.
Uh, so the Hendra is so intriguing. Is he as a mentally broken as in your story?
Well, if you ask the real person, he's not that messed up like that because, well, I cannot imagine someone have that kind of life because, oh my god, I'm being really wicked in the story and I knew it, but I hope that nobody have that. A lot of people feel sad and they're just mad. I know it. I understand.
I kind of sympathetic with your reader. They are reading your book just to get the pain. Okay.
Well, it's their choice. They buy the book, they choose the book, and they have to be ready for the pain. I remind you, you have to be ready for the pain.
Yeah. Okay. I think your reader will be a little relaxed after that statement, Miss Della. I hope. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I think in our time, including Hendra, is running out. So thank you very much, Miss Della, for spending your time.
Thank you for
in my
having me.
show. Yeah. Enjoy the little spoiler from the Daidala book. Okay.
Do you mind if I drop a little bit spoiler here?
Okay, don't mind.
So, because the 10th book already published,
Okay.
already get ready for the 11th book.
Oh, get ready, readers.
And the 11th one gonna be titled The Shadows Dance.
Oh. So Jahendra, oh my god.
Then we can leave, and I can leave this place with a cliffhanger for people.
Oh
You know?
my. Okay. Get ready for the new book. Okay. And that's it for today. Show. And for my lecture tomorrow, I will invite another writer who's called him or herself as a hamster. Yeah, I know. That's a unique name. And write book about how to tame your hamster.
It is a good book.
Yeah, I know.
Tomorrow's episode gonna be really interesting.
This is the people internet also kind of curious about their gender because we don't know hamster is she or he. Okay. Well, my fellow reader and tree drinker, till next day in Throw the Tea Talk Show. Goodbye.